Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode on First Culture. Today we'll be talking about the misconception parents have about their teenage children. Teenagers, the things they wish their parents know about them, which their parent doesn't know. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. I have here with me two wonderful guests. Can we meet you, please?
My name is Promise.
You're welcome to First Culture. And
my name is Ati Emmanuel.
Ati Emmanuel. Welcome to First Culture. It's good to have you guys here. You already know what we're talking about, right? We're talking about the things you wish your parents know about you, and they don't really know, and they feel they know them. So that's what we're talking about. Our previous episode, a parent came. We spoke about the 21st century parenting. Who is at fault? Is it the children or the parents? Go and watch that episode. It's on our YouTube channel, so watch it. It was really a wonderful conversation. So today we are picking it up from there. We're asking our teenagers, what is this misconception you feel your parents have about you? The things they feel they know, which they don't even know anything. So I'm going to be starting from Promise. So Promise, can you tell me what some of those things are?
Okay, so parents don't want to hear the word "I'm tired" from your mouth. It's not acceptable.
Okay.
So like we get tired, we get scared, we get anxious, and all of that. And then maybe they just go back from work and they're like, you should do this, you should do that. And like, I'm tired. Maybe you had a busy day at school or something just destabilized you. Yeah. And then once you're like, you're tired, you're like, no, you're lazy. Yeah. They don't just want to hear that.
Yeah.
And then another stuff is that, okay, you might be going through something. Maybe something happened in school or just your personal life. And then you want to discuss it with them. But then they begin to shout at you. Like, they don't just want to understand anything from your point of view. Especially when other adults, like teachers, are involved. They don't want to hear your point at all. Like, they'll just listen to what the other party is saying and they don't want to believe you. So like, our parents should take things from a different approach instead of necessarily yelling. That will just stop most teenagers from having that conversation with their parents. And they don't want to talk about anything. So they should just have that different approach. It isn't every time that they need to shout. And then also, okay, for someone like me now, I'm an introvert. I only open up when I'm with my people, like when I'm with my close friends and all of that. So I may not necessarily want to open up to my parents. I may not necessarily want to open up at all. But then when you keep on like asking what's wrong, like you're so persistent, and then it begins to irritate me. Because when I want to talk, I'll eventually talk. But when you're like on it, like you're just 24/7 disturbing me, you're like over me, like what is it? And then another thing parents should understand is that when teenagers are in their room, don't just think that this child is doing something. I don't trust this girl. I don't trust it. That's
assuming
when we are in our rooms, it's like our safe space. You don't just come to the room, just open the curtain and then you walk out. We don't want to stay in the parlor. There's nothing to do in the parlor. Like most times, I tend to stay in my room. I might just be listening to music or just reading. And thank you. Another thing is that when we are on our phones, it's not every time we are like chatting or on social media. We might just be reading. We might just be reading. Or we might be researching other things. We are not always on WhatsApp. We are not always on Instagram. It's not every time. It's a very wrong assumption.
Okay. Thank you, Promise. So, Emmanuel.
Alright, firstly, what I would say is interest.
Okay.
So parents should understand that our interests are different from their interests, and we are both humans, which is normal that we should have different interests. You get? So our Nigerian, let me not put Nigeria, let me not stereotype Nigerian parents.
Okay.
So most parents would actually support what they have interest in more than what we have interest in. Let me give an instance. Let's say okay, now I'm a computer enthusiast. I like computers, but then my parents want me to study medicine and surgery. They want me to inject people with drugs and all of that. Now they would most likely invest in me being a doctor or a nurse or a pharmacist or any of them. but then I have my own interest, which is computer science. You get? I have my interest. You should understand that we want you to invest in our interest, not just your interest. You have interest also. So secondly is comparison. Parents, we do not like you comparing us with our friends. Our friends might or might not be better than us, but then we do not like you comparing us with them.
Do you have two aids? That's your friend. That's your friend.
It makes us feel inferior, and most times it makes us have toxic friendship because we would be competitive. Like, we're trying to be better than our friends and we do things that are not good. And lastly, I would say our parents should know that we are not as innocent, we are not as young as they think we are.
Okay.
Yes. I'm 17.
Okay. What area?
Wait. I'm 17 and I know some stuff that my parents do not know that I know.
Okay.
So we are not that young. They should know that, and they should be able to talk to us about things that they feel we are too young to understand. They'll be like, they'll be like, it's not for our age. We're not knowing that. We already know about these things, you get. So if you don't hear it from you, we would actually hear from another person
people.
or the bad source, you get. So you should actually talk to us about
In
different
schools,
things, not
we
just
hear these things in
not
schools,
just
on the
putting it
road.
as it's not our.
So Emmanuel, can you be specific about this thing you feel you know?
Alright, okay, the major one is, I think parents feel like it's, I don't know,
immoral.
there are some things that are not a sin, but they feel like it's a sin. You get. So they feel like it's not normal for you to be talking to your child or your teenager about sex. You get. That's like the major thing that they don't know. And then we are on social media. Like you can just open Facebook or Instagram
and
things exactly, and you're just curious and you want to like click on things, and then you learn things in the bad way.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you should talk to us about these things. Don't just leave us like that.
Thank you so much. The next question I'm going to be asking the both of you is, a lot of teenagers are depressed. From your own view, a lot of them are depressed. You see them taking drugs, doing all manners of things, and their parent doesn't know. What do you feel is responsible for all this? Why are teenagers depressed? What are the issues bothering them that is making them resort to depression? They just keep everything to themselves. They can't talk to their parents. Promise, let's start from you. Why?
Okay. For families that are not really most times their parents are always having issues, they're always arguing and all of that. And then when you're trying to bring the child into the middle of the whole issue, especially for firstborn children, when their parents are like maybe individually my dad might, let me use my family as an example now. Maybe my dad calls me and then he's telling me what my mom did, or my mom calls me and telling me exactly, and then my mom calls me telling me what my dad did, that type of thing. So they are dragging me into the middle of the matter, and then I'll begin to think about it. It begins to weigh me down. So that's one issue that makes teenagers become depressed. And then also one of the points Emmanuel gave the other time, when they are not in school now, they are not studying what they want to study. Like maybe your child, I'm this art type of person, and then my parents are dragging me, or they forced me into the science department, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm not succeeding, I'm not excelling in that. I will be thinking of it. My classmates are like excelling in their courses, and then me, I'm just
no passion, lack of
exactly. That's another stuff that causes depression.
Nice. You are very correct. So Emmanuel, what do you think causes depression for teenagers? What's going on?
Alright, I feel that the major cause of depression for teenagers is lack of communication.
Okay.
Or let's say lack of the right communication. So there are times we all know that we don't meet some expectations, and we don't get some things done, and then we're feeling let's say lonely, or you're feeling like you cannot achieve some type of things. That's something that causes depression. But then you don't have the right communication, and then you might most likely be communicating with the wrong person at that time. Most teenagers would love to talk to their parents about what they are going through, but they already have like a mentality of what their parents are going to say. I don't know that it's going to be bad, because most of their parents are going to shout at them, and they don't want to feel like that because they don't like seeing their parents, let's say, shout. They don't like feeling like that, so they communicate with another person that is going to give them like a bad
advice
and all.
So you mentioned something. It's so true. A lot of teenagers cannot talk to their parent about sex. It's not possible. In this part of the world where we are coming from, maybe Promise now, want to talk to the dad that one guy is talking to. Where? You can't try it. If you try it, it's like an abomination. There's no avenue for teenagers to express themselves to their parents. Okay, this is what is happening to me. This is what is happening to me. That avenue is not there. Why? Parents, you need to answer this question for us. If you're watching, you need to really answer this question for us, because a lot of teenagers, that also causes depression.
Yes.
Because some of them, they are sexually abused, sometimes by their uncles, even in school. They can't open up. Some teenagers have been raped, which they can't open up because they don't know how their parents will react. Some parents
might not believe them.
They might not believe, exactly. So they might not even believe that they are saying the truth. So at the end of the day, they just keep everything to themselves and just...
And also, I think most teenagers usually feel like once they open their mouth to talk about certain topics, that parents start condemning them.
Exactly.
Like, let's say you're a Christian. If you're watching this, let's say you're a Christian, and then you meet your parents and you want to talk about sex. The person will be like, is that what they're teaching you in church? Or is that what the Bible says and all of that?
Exactly.
Like, it's not something that you should be thinking of at that time. But then, since you're a teenager and you're thinking of it, you should at least be responsible for answering your questions.
That's so true. Really hit some notes here. And at this point, I want to really appeal to our parents. I know everybody, we are busy, fine. Lagos is busy. Lagos is already very busy already. We know you leave your home 5 o'clock, Tome land and everything, fine. Please create time for your children, even if it's just 5 minutes. You have, as in, when they say, I want to talk to you, that's not the time for you to start shouting, for you to start doing all manners of, no.
Yeah, let me add something to that also.
Okay.
Most parents tend to use material things in place of love. We don't necessarily, yes, you might want the clothes, the money and all of that, but when it becomes like every time, like that's care, you're not showing that care, not showing that
exactly.
love, like it begins to worry us, that type of stuff.
Very true, you're correct, Promise, thank you. So parents, I guess you have all heard, please create time for your kids. Create time, get to know them more, so that we reduce this problem that is entering the society every day. This drug, a lot of teenagers, their lives are being wasted because of drug. They resort to drugs. Most of these things happen as a result of loneliness. They are lonely. At that time, they don't have anybody to talk to. They talk to the wrong kind of people, and the advice they give them, they resort to taking drugs. Nobody can talk to your child the way you will talk to your child, because your child will know that you don't have bad intentions for them. So when you talk to them with that motherly, that fatherly love, without condemning. You correct them, but not like, you're not trying to like condemn. So that's not what we are appealing for. We are just appealing, please create more time. Get to learn from our own side of the way we think. Don't impose, not every time. Stop being the lion of your home, please. So, teenagers as well, you people have coconut head too. So yes, because sometimes your parents, they talk. Some parents actually does all of these things. Give the time, the attention. Some, they are still influenced by their friends. So, now, Promise, what do you have to tell such teenager that is performing, being rebellious against every decision, against what their parents stands for?
Okay, I'll start with saying this. Some teenagers that tend to be rebellious, they might actually be trying to catch their parents' attention.
Okay.
Especially like what you said, like Lagos being busy, they leave their houses by 5, come back when they're already sleeping and all of that. But that is the wrong way to go about it. When you're trying to like catch your parents' attention by being rebellious and all of that, your parents will now begin to, they won't even want to listen to anything you're saying. Like that will just cut off everything. They just take you as the bad person straight up. So what you should do, try to, like in terms of academics, if you're like excelling, you're top of your class, or sports, you're doing something in the right line, like that will catch your parents' attention, and then maybe people around will not be like, that your daughter, that your son, she was, she did exactly. Our parents like when other people are talking about their children and then they are giving good examples. So that should be the right way to go about it, not being rebellious.
Yes.
That's wrong.
Thank you. So Emmanuel, what about you?
So I would say, bro, girl, you can make your points without shouting or disrespecting your parents. In as much as you feel you are right, or you are the one that has the better opinion about specific issues, they are still your parents. They gave birth to you, they gave you life. And when we carried you in a womb for 9 months, that is a good point. You carried in a womb for 9 months. So you should not disrespect your parents in any way. There are other ways you can go about making your opinions known, or wanting to say things about a specific subject.
Yeah, and like what Emmanuel said, at that moment, even if the argument, right, at that moment, because everything is going up and everything, just
peace has to reign.
Later on, you can just go and meet your mom or like, mom, that thing that you said, you know it's wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, just know how you.
But African parents are always like, they want to be the one that is always correct.
Exactly. So later, you just go like, see, that thing you did is wrong, go, you understand? Okay.
They've said it all. So it's really been amazing having Promise and Emmanuel. Thank you all so much for coming for First Culture. We really appreciate you. You've made a lot of fun. So our parents we are appealing, please just listen. Not all the time. We've been listening to you. It's time for you to stop imposing things that they don't want to do. Stop putting your own ideology, everything you want them to do. How many doctors must they study medicine? Must they be an accountant? And please, there are other things that they have passion for. Let them go with their passion and they will excel more there. And listen when they are telling you, watch them, watch your children. Know when they want to. Not all the time. African mentality. If they don't want to listen to you, the lion of the tribe of the home will arise, want to show his muscle.
Understand us.
Please, we are appealing. Please, let's appeal. We are appealing to you. Please listen. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It's really been fun here today, having Promise and Emmanuel here. Please, guys, if you still haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button right now. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. We love you and we hope you stay inspired always. It's a bye from us.
Bye.